I'm your host, Sky. Now it looks like it's about right. I think I'm gonna be able to see the chat. People that wants to talk, talk back to me. First things first, Whiz Kid, Wizard, whatever you want to call him. Thank you first for first and foremost. I'm stuttering like hell. I stutter like crazy because I get my mind's thoughts together and like they come out of my mouth. And it's like, I try to slow down, but I sound like I'm like drawn and I'm on syrup or scissor or something like that. But I try to be as professional as possible. But to Wiz Kid, aka Wizard, salute to you, sir. Salute to Dot Focus. Now the chat works. I don't know why. I don't know why. It was the weirdest. And the damn this one. This broke off of my light that keeps the phone on. But I guess it's better this way. And it says it's kind of a blessing and a curse. Um, but salute to Dot Focus. Matter of fact, let me get that popping off right now. While I still have time. Let me see. Hold on, just give me a second. Trying to find it. Looking for it right now, Dot Boy. Slow down. Hold on, sir. Hold on. Give me a minute. Yeah, it wasn't popping off like it should have been. It wasn't popping off like it should have been. It was crazy. All right, here we go. Here we go. Visit dot focus DOTFOCUS underscore on his YouTube channel and subscribe, like and comment. If you enjoy Call of Duty and other first person shooters, you will not be disappointed. Tell him that Silly Sky sent you. That's me, Silly Sky. So definitely check him out. Make sure you go to his page and subscribe. All right. First and foremost, salute to the guy, Wiz Kid 90s. I appreciate the story, sir, but both of them, they were dragging it. They were dragging down. I don't know why. I needed to have something to draw. I don't know why. I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that I couldn't see the salute, SW. I see you, sir. I don't think it had anything to do with the fact that I couldn't see the chat, but it was very unnerving. I had to just take it down, and I didn't know. I didn't have anything to say. I only could say, it was very simple. I'll say the story. I say and outside of DC in the suburbs in PG, Prince George's County, a young man named Darnell Hawkins Jr. was gunned down by an assailant who has now been charged with first degree murder and second degree murder. This is all coming out of that area. This is comes out the area that he frequents. He lives in that area. So I can't do that story. I can't. It's not going to work out. It's not. I don't. It's got bad juju around it. I don't know why. I couldn't see the live chat before. I couldn't do anything, and I have no other words for him other than he was a good guy that got caught up in a bad situation, and that MGM casinos should all have metal detectors everywhere at every entrance, every time. When I was like I was talking about in Pennsylvania, they had the metal detectors right there at the front and center before you could go in the casino. So salute to you, WizKid, on that. And second of all, I can't do it, man. What's his name? Hold on. What's his name? Hold on. I gotta get the name right because I almost forgot about it. Hold on, Joe. Frank Matthews, Black Caesar, Hail Caesar, Black Caesar. He came in. I did not find one shred of credible evidence. There goes 13. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. 13. Yeah, thank you. That's what I was expecting. 13 at least. It needs to be 1,300. It needs to be 13,000. But that's another issue. Get out, little bro Timmy. I have no idea what that means, but anyway, thank you. But Frank Matthews, that looked like a Facebook or an Instagram post. That didn't look like credible, news. If I hit the news, for all the different channels, Reuters, AP, all those different, cover, they didn't say a thing about Frank Matthews being found. So I call that, I don't call that as credible. But I do have something that is credible. It's almost incredible. That is Drizzy Drake. Drake has got more spins or more streams or more hits on his 2011 effort, Take Care, than most of these rappers' brand new releases. That's a fact. That's a whole fact. That's something that has to be contended with. Somebody has to contend with that. That's a truth. That's a reality. He has over, I think it's like 22 million. I mean 22,000. Excuse me, 22,000 hits. He claimed the top spot on the hip hop charts as his 2011 album Take Care outsold new releases. So that's just a fact, and it's a really it just lets me know he's the LeBron James of hip hop. Now I don't know what you're gonna say that what you're gonna make of it, but let me break it down like this. It's really simple to break down. He came in the game early, okay? LeBron came in the game early. Drake dropped when he was like not that early, not super early, not like when he was like 14 or something like that, and like some rappers. Yes, I got the email quiz. I just explained the reason why I'm not covering either story. And I thank you though, but I said thank you, salute to you, sir. I'm not covering either story because one, I gave props to Darnell Hawkins Jr. Oh my God. Ugh. I'm not doing coke. I swear, I'm not doing coke. But yeah, it's a national story too. It's in the New York Times, so it's huge. No bread, no beer. Drake was dropping endless hits. Yeah, I guess so. But I mean, some of the beard Drake's hits were kind of big. I think he had a beard when he had massive something. I think it was just massive. That was one of my favorite songs of his, massive. But no, I can't talk about that. I can't talk about Frank Matthews because I had no credible sources to back up the idea that he was founded, and he was found. Nothing to back it up, so I can't do either story. I can only talk about Drake because that's the one I did the most research for. I just did a little bit of research on both of the shooting and the false story of Frank Matthews being found. So I can't do anything but keep sending me stuff. I did the research on him. I did the research, so don't think I'm just like, man, forget him. That's whack. I didn't do any of that. I will research a story and I will come back with with the ideas. Like I said, I can't fill that much time about Darnell Hawkins Jr. I can't say too much about him because I don't know him. I didn't have any idea of who he was or what he was about or anything like that. Other than he was a son, a brother, and a father, and that he was just trying to live his life. I thought those pictures with Drake in blackface was going to end him. Yeah, well, nobody cares. Sadly, I mean, nobody cares. He's kind of Drake is kind of like LeBron James and Trump in a lot of ways. They'll win even if they lose. They'll lose and they'll still win. Like he almost got assassinated. They're like, oh my God, he got shot in the ear. We got to vote for him. He was almost killed. He's indestructible. LeBron James, he goes to the Lakers. He's with the purple and gold. He's got his son on the team. Oh my God, he's the goat. He's not the goat. That's not what I'm arguing. And like LeBron is like Drake isn't the goat, but he's one of them. He's one of the goats. LeBron is one of the goats, but he's not the goat. The goat is Michael Jordan, of course. The goat of the hip hop or rap game is Jay-Z. There's no question about that. He was a Jack Boy, allegedly the Darnell guy. See, that's why I was like, that's why I said I don't know about him. I just said he's a father, he's a son, a brother, and a father. That's all I said. That's why I don't know if he was, engaged in. I just said it earlier. I said or in the last broadcast, or if I didn't say it earlier, I'm saying it now. I don't know if he was engaged in the game, in the life. I don't know what he was doing, but apparently, that would be it. That'll be it. Drake the softest rapper ever. No, I think Will Smith is pretty much the softest rapper ever. He'll give a pimp hand in real life, but on a song he's like really, really soft. He's the softest, I think. Will Smith, aka the Fresh Prince. He's the softest rapper, I would say. Drake is pretty hardcore in a lot of ways. Not like hardcore like shoot 'em up, bang bang, nigga die slow, but or I'm gonna sell kilos of coke hardcore, but he has his own way of just displaying that. Macklemore, maybe. Yeah, maybe Macklemore, maybe. Yeah, that's good. That's a good suggestion. No, Will Smith put that work in. Drake ain't smack no. I said in real life, Will Smith might. Will Smith might smack you in your face, smack the taste out your mouth. But on a record, on the record, he's pretty soft. He's a softie. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Like this is the song, just the two of us talking about he and his son, his first son, not Jaden, but he's talking about his, how just the two of us, we'll always be, you'll always be my firstborn and stuff like that. And, it's just a nice song. And Men in Black, parents just don't understand. The summertime. It's just real soft, real smooth, real, kind of things like that. Woody the hardest. Who's Woody? You said Woody's the hardest? Who is this Woody you speak of? I love when Bumble comes in because he'll just say something. Doesn't back it up by anything. Woody the hardest because dot dot dot. Who the hell is Woody in the first place? Dot dot dot. Woody a white Mortano. I can't pronounce that. Noterno rapper. I don't even know what that means. Woody Noterno. Okay, Ryan Mitchell Wood, also known as Woody, was an American rapper. Oh my gosh, he died in 2007. Record producer, songwriter, lyricist, and street gangster from California. Antioch, California, excuse me. Who was affiliated with the Norteños gang. He was recognized for his fast-paced style and introspective lyrics, often reflecting on real-life experiences and dilemmas. See, this is what I love about this broadcast. I never even heard of this nigga. I don't know who Woody was. Well, I didn't know it in his life, and now I just realized who he was after his death. Thank you, Bumba. I appreciate it, sir. I would have never. I just had to look him up right now. This is crazy. How did he die? On March 7, 2007, I said that. I'm see. That's the reason when broadcasters we talk really fast. On March 7, 2007, Wood's life came to an end under circumstances that are still not entirely clear. His death is veiled in mystery. While some reports suggest he took his own life in Florence, Oregon, official records to confirm these details have not been located. Okay, this is where we're about to get to Frank Matthews. This is what we're getting to here. Some believe that he drank himself into a deep and dark depression because he was responsible for the murder that Gabriel Snoop Roberson is serving life in prison for. Wood never hired an appeal lawyer and never confessed to the shooting, despite letting Roberson know that eventually he would do so. Rapper AWAX, I remember that, AWAX, yeah, released a single named East Coco, which is alleged that Wood left a will and a confession tape before he died. Rumors of a confession tape have been denied. On November 3rd, 2025, Gabriel Snoop Roberson came to a plea agreement with the East Contra Costa prosecutor. Roberson pleaded no contest to voluntary manslaughter for 4 counts of attempted murder and gang enhancement. He was resentenced to 35 years with credit for time served. He'll be released after 5 years with a projected release date in 2030. Due to sentencing guidelines, he will leave prison in 2 years, 2027. That's just, oh my God, damn. In 2018, a memorial headstone installed at Holy Cross Cemetery in Antioch in honor of Wood was reported stolen. The theft of the headstone was met with the shock and sadness from his community, who viewed it as deeply disrespectful act. It's all coming from Wikipedia. That is crazy. God damn. Thank you, Bumba. Hi, Max Vision. Max Vision hit the said hi part. He didn't just say hi. He gonna hit the part where it says said hi. This nigga. His friend did life for a shooting he did. Then he confessed it on tape and unalived himself. Well, that's all been conjecture, like I just read. That's all conjecture. The tape and the confession tape has been denied. All that has been denied. And Frank Matthews. I can talk a little bit about Frank Matthews. Frank Matthews, Black Caesar. This nigga, he was running numbers when he was like 14 years old. He was in trouble as a youth. He was stealing stuff from some farmer or something like that. He assaulted the farmer with a brick. He went up. He went up to from Philly to New York. He lived around the Italian mafia. He said he was trying to take down the Italian mafia. He had ties to the Atlanta area drug dealers. They held conferences and everything. Anyway, long story short, he grows up to be this multi-million-dollar drug lord, and he's brought up on charges. And before he's able to be found by the police, he escapes, just skates off, and it hasn't been heard of since 1973. Now, this is all conjecture that he has been found. I have not found any credible sources that have confirmed the fact that he's been found or not. So I don't want to say that on my show that he's been found. Bumba says Woody music was dope and he did his own beats. That's I have to get into that. I hope he's on the streaming services. He looks phenotypically white, but I think he was. I think he was either he was white or he's very fair skinned, Hispanic man, a spick. I don't know if he was a spick or a cracker. He was Irish. Okay, making sure. Thank you. He was Irish. I was wondering. I'm like, this guy, but he was affiliated with the gangs. And it says cause of death, suicide by gunshot. So yeah, that part must be true. But a lot of things that happen, that must be an issue. He's only 31. 31. Jesus, that was 6 years ago for me. Gonna be 7 years next year. I'm great. There is no God. So I said, instead of saying God is great, I say I am great. How do you say that in what? It's not in the language. See, my mind is like the first thing that comes to mind. How do you say that in Muslim? There's no Muslim language. How do you say that in what is the word? Arabic is Arabic. Arabic. Allah Akbar. Is God is great. How do you say I am great in Arabic? How do you say that? He was Irish. Man, what a way to go. But back to Drizzy Drake. He outsold all these niggas. All these niggas. He didn't even drop nothing this whole year. All he's eating off of stuff from 2011. Still, and all his other projects as well. But you know, they're doing great numbers. He's doing crazy numbers. He's like LeBron and Trump. Even when they lose, they gonna win. I can't find they had it. Damn. I don't know where it is now. Damn. I'm looking for it right now. Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm looking for it right now. Looking for it right now. How do hip hop drink? One second. All right, so that's the truth anyhow. I'm looking for it. I can't find it. I don't know what the hell they do. It's crazy. I don't know where the hell the story went. My story's up, but their story's not up. I guess this is it. I'm looking for it right now. It's 20. Okay, here it is. What is Drake? Highest selling albums by rappers this week. Just this week. 21,000. Take Care. Number one. Take Care is 21,000. Highest selling albums by rappers this week. I don't know what the hell they mean by selling. They mean streams? I don't know. You just daft, we say? Daft is attention speaking. Daft is like bad, right? Isn't that the opposite of deft? Daft is like, you know, you're stupid or you're not. I'm stupid, but thanks, I guess. I don't know. You're daft. Daft is attention speaking. Thank you, Sandra Horn. Salute to you, Sandra. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate it. Even his other songs, Some Sexy Songs for You. That album, 17,000. Views is at 13,000. For All the Dogs is at 12,000. That's wild. God. Attentions. What is attention speaking? What does that mean, Sandra? Now it's down to one. Okay, great. Deficit. All right, so the LeBron James of hip hop, Sandra is a tool. That's funny. And who is we? You just Daft, we say. I can almost hear your British accent. I don't know. Are you from Britain? Daft is attention speaking. I'm trying to tell you. But no, this is real. This is real. The Frank Matthew story, not real. Apparently, I didn't see any credible sources regarding his placement in custody or being found or anything like that. Oh yeah, and Crumpets. That focus is wild. He said, "Oh yeah, and Crumpets ass." Tea and Crumpets. He said, "Right." That's what it sounds like. I think Sandra is from Great Britain, but I'm not sure. I can't say whether that's an established thought or not. I can't confirm nor deny. But let's get these subs up. Let's get these get these likes and subs and views up. Come on, let's go. Let's go. I should be at 20,000 views right now instead of one. But yeah. So Drizzy is the LeBron James of hip hop. He had to flip teams and get championships with other squads. I think one time Jordan did actually say that. He said, I didn't ever have to go up to a different team. I never had to go to a different squad or anything like that. He was letting people know. Wiz says, did you see Michael Jackson brother and sister pop out? No, I didn't. But that is the reality. I think he's LeBron James. For a lot of reasons, he like the crying and the lawsuits. That's like the flops that LeBron has on the floor. He be flopping. Foul, foul, foul. And they have to give him the foul because he's the face of the league still. Curry is kind of like that. I always think Curry is like the Kendrick Lamar of the NBA. And Kendrick Lamar is the Steph Curry of hip hop, of rap. That's just how I see it. That's just the way I just, in my mind, I just figured that. The way they changed the game in certain ways and the way they were able to play on a different level. I just see that. I just see, Curry changed the game completely. It's a totally different game. That 3-point line, it was like, yeah, I can get a three. You had people like Glenn Rice, Detlef Shrimp, you had Reggie Miller, you had Hornacek, John Hornacek, John Jeff Hornacek, John Stockton. You had Nick Van Exel. You had Tim Hardaway. You had all these cats, all these people in the game that could shoot the three, but they didn't make it the pressure. I'm about to say Ray Charles. He wasn't shooting any threes. What's his name? Number 34, Jesus Shuttlesworth. I know his nickname. Ray. God damn it. Can't stand my brain. Ray Allen. God damn. Ray Allen. Ray Allen, he could shoot three. I think he still has the highest 3-point percentage in history in the NBA. If not one of them, he was definitely. Oh, he was one of the best. Over 18 series. Over 18 seasons, he shot 2,293 three-pointers. He made those. Often hover around 40%, peaking at 45.3% in 2011-2012 season. He also shot 40% from threes in the playoffs. Third all-time career leader. Total three-pointers made. I have to give hip hop. Who's in hip hop for Ray Allen? But I did not see Michael Jackson and Michael Jackson brother and sister pop out. Pop out of where? I don't even know what you're talking about, Wiz. I really don't know what you're talking about right now, sir. Explain yourself better, please. I don't understand what you're saying. Pop out of what? Pop out for what? I don't understand what you're saying. But yeah, so Drake, he can't be stopped. You're not gonna stop him. He's eating off of his past efforts. Well, like by a lot. Hold on, let me see. At least by 1,000, okay. But over other, by standards of Kendrick Lamar, he's got him by 4,000, by 3,000, no, 2,000. Excuse me, 2,000. No, 4,000. Yeah, I'm looking at the wrong one. 4,000 sales. I don't even know what the hell they're talking about with sales. Selling an album. What is a selling album? Is that CD sales? Is that vinyl? Are those cassettes? 8 tracks? What are they talking about sales? I understand streams now, but I don't understand. It's crazy. I think with the amount of people that are going to be set up for the game coming after Drake. He's still got he's got shelf life. He's definitely got shelf life. Not the best rapper ever. Never close. Not even close to being the best rapper ever. Maybe the best songwriter ever, singer rapper ever. That could be true. So I'm just in awe of Drake right now. You have to be. You can't knock this. It's numbers. It's not opinion. It's not whether you think it should be so. Oh, Drake should be selling this. Oh, Drake can't be selling that. It's what it is. It's the number. The numbers are. Women lie. Men lie. Numbers can be fudged, but for the most part, they don't lie. And they're not the ones lying. It's the people behind them. Excuse me. Oh my god. Ugh. Y'all knew what went into this freaking show. how much stuff you got to go through. Oh my God. There we go. There we go. I needed that Gumbinos. Good Jesus. Hallelujah. In the name of the blood. Thank you, Gumbinos. Jesus. Needed that. Thank you so much for that Cash App. Appreciate it for sincerely. Oh my God. I don't have to do nothing else for the rest of the night. I got a good Cash App. Just hit my cat. The bank account just get the Holy Ghost. I said the bank account just hit the Holy Ghost. That was good. I got to drink to that. I'll drink to that. I can talk about movies. You want to talk about movies? I can go all over the place now because I got a good Cash App. That was much needed because I was going through a lot of BS right now. I just saw the movie Trainheart. I mean, is the world really ready for that much earnesty? It's a very earnest, just it almost looks like a true story. This guy, maybe it's not Trainheart. What is it? Yeah. Train Dreams, not Train Heart. Excuse me. Train Dreams. Yeah, it's just it. I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It wasn't extraordinary for me. I like to see extraordinary on the screen. I respect the fact that it's earnest. That's not sarcastic and mocking of life. It actually embraces a lot of the facets of life, and how you should deal with the wild and the wilderness and people and different people and things that go on. But it was just so it was. I'm not knocking the fact that it was earnest or very straightforward and not non-sarcastic, non-ironic, non or sardonic or anything like that. A lot of icks. But yeah, so it could go either way. It was like, well, it could not go either way for me. It could go for a least recommendation. I give it like a D minus, on a scale of A being the best and F being the worst and D being a poor job. Excellent cinematography, great editing, great lighting. I don't know how they lit that thing. I think they use a lot of natural light. But I didn't like it. I didn't like it. It seemed like it was just every day. He was just searching for his what was going on. He was just cutting up different trees and cutting down forests and making up woods. And he was like, oh, what is this guy doing? I'll give it away. I'm spoiling it for you, but he goes to a monitor years later after he's like in his 50s or 60s or something like that. And he's like, "What's this guy doing?" He's like, "Oh, he's in outer space," and like that. Like that's the movie I would have rather watched. I think it was John Glenn. I think at the time in outer space or something like that. And he just didn't have that. The story didn't have that charisma. It didn't have the flashbang. I like more people running their mouths. He didn't run his mouth so much. I like when people are in rooms talking, giving ideas and stuff like that. I love that. I love action too. I can appreciate action scenes too. If you can do the both, you can do action and conversation at the same time. Shane Black is known for that. He's one of the best screenwriters of all time. Not one of my favorites, but I have to respect him as being one of the best to ever do it. And his bank account reflects it, by the way. I think he was one of the first screenwriters to ever get like $4 or $5 million for a screenplay. If I'm not mistaken, you can correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, I just didn't like Train Dreams. I didn't like Train Dreams too much. Not a top contender in my log of movies. but you can watch it. I mean, just see it and see what I mean. You're gonna be like, that's kind of. I mean, some parts are just flat out boring. To tell you the truth, I mean, some parts are just very, very. It's like, where are we go? Where are we going? The plot wasn't that tight. It kind of just meandered. It kind of just, oh well, he has a family, then he doesn't have a family, then he has to go to this other parts of the woods. Now he's chopping down these trees. Now he's chopping down those trees. Now this guy comes in, the only nigger comes in, and he shoots a white man, but you can't see it. It's not up close. It's just almost off screen. The black man, he's like, I'm looking for whoever the guy's name was, and the white guy's like, he gets up and he starts running. The black dude, the nigger, shoots him in the back, and then he goes up to him, bang, shoots him in the head. And he was like, if any of y'all want to come after me, for this reason, what you just saw, come after me right now, because I'm not gonna be looking over my shoulder the rest of my life. I thought that was interesting. But no, I mean, like I said, the cinematography was on point. The lighting was amazing. I don't know what the hell they did with the natural lighting and the fire. And they had like little bits of, what happened to the Chinese and the Indians around that area, in that area. This is like in, where was this? I think it was in Washington. Hold on, let me make 100% sure. The 80 years of the life of Robert Grainer around Bonners Ferry, Idaho. Then he takes the railroad construction for the Spokane International Railway. He goes to United States Forest Service. Yeah, it was John. I was right, John Glenn. Yeah, he flies in a biplane. I didn't like it. I didn't like it that much. It's like a D minus to me. Everybody loves it though. Apparently, 95%. A gorgeous meditation on America, ably shouldered by one of Joel Edgerton's very best performers. He does a great job. Joel Edgerton has a very subdued, very contained way of acting. He's not exuberant or anything like that. He's not like a fast talker. He's real slow talking. His characters are really meditative and contemplative and introspective. Um, so I have to give that to Joel Egerton. He does a fine job in that regard. It takes on mythic proportions while maintaining an intimate emotional delicacy. I can't abide by that. I can't abide by it. It's like I said, I'm not knocking it for its earnestness. That's a good trait. It's very masculine, by the way, too. It's very masculine, very strong. Not just the physical activity of sawing down trees, but the act of trying to build a life for your family, trying to build a life for your wife and daughter, and taking on different pains of life, and the setbacks and things of that nature. So I mean, watch it. Train Dreams, watch it. I just couldn't stomach the fact that it was just so ordinary, just so everyday. It's like, he's not a magnificent, super larger than life person. That's why that I think people are flocking to this movie, is because he has a little bit of charisma, a little bit of understanding of who he should be and what he should ought and what he ought to be. Like he's in real life, he's much more distinguished, like Jay-Z said. He's like a bloke from London, England. All right, so all right, so yeah, that was my review for Train Dreams. It was recommended in part by the little lady, the lady of the house, and the Sky series, Miss Holly Correnti. Let me, since I mentioned her, let me put up her on screen. Subscribe to Z Therapy Holly Correnti on YouTube for all your Zumba needs. Move and groove to the rhythms and tell friends and family members to join in. 2. Tell her Silly Sky sent you. She actually said she was probably bawling her eyes out. She said it was really sad. It is sad, but it's really, in lots of parts it's really boring and not, it's just really not interesting. It's really not interesting. It's not fun. It's not like, I mean, should be like a very serious, introspection, but it should be fun at the same time. Serious but fun, if that's possible. I mean, some stories you can do that. I mean, like Forrest Gump, for example, very well made, one of the best made movies ever out of Hollywood. It was an epic story. Sadly, it's about somebody that's a nitwit who's like he's not very bright. He's not smart. He's not smart as a whip. He's not a wisecracker. He's not thoughtful in the sense of having a witty kind of presentation. But the movie itself, the movie has so much to it, and all its time over years, from 1940 to the 1980s. I mean, it has war, it has love interest, it has political assassinations, it has everything that happened in America during that time period from the 40s to the 80s. Um, it's all jam packed, and it's very interesting. It's very like, wow, I'm glued to my seat. I'm like looking at my eyes are popping onto the screen. I'm taking in every single scene. All right, so I'm gonna try to tie this in with everything that's happened in these last few moments. The young man, Hawkins Jr. I don't know where Wiz got his information. I don't know where you got that, Wiz. Where he was in the street as well. But I was wondering. I was like, hey, this could be. He might not be a prince. He may not be super innocent himself. The reason why he's getting killed, murdered. You know, he may have crossed somebody. He might have fumbled the bag. He might have been bagging up to work, and somebody, and he was probably stashed a little bit in his baggies, in his own baggies or something like that. I don't know. Allegedly, it's all alleged. But I just murder is a weird. I mean, all crimes are weird, but murder especially. I mean, you literally are looking at a lot of time. You're looking at like 25 to life. In some circumstances, you might get out. When you're 60. You might get out when you're 70. And if you're in your 20s, you'll be in prison for a long time. That's just a reality. That's the truth to it. So, and also, Frank Matthews escaped that. He didn't. I don't know if he had any murder charges, but he had the drug charges, which are ridiculous. You didn't have any drug charges. Drugs should be completely legal, or pharmaceuticals should be legal. Street pharmaceuticals or narcotics or substances should be completely legal. It's the reason why we have all these problems, because of this quote unquote war on drugs. We need to have someone take away the reins from government and selling and, well, manufacturing, producing, and distributing and consuming all substances that are scheduled, all narcotics, everything like that, completely. It only enhances the demand. Like, you see these boats getting blown out of the water, literally. They're getting blown out of the water, and you wonder why. Well, let me see. You're trying to get rid of these boats, just like these little little cigarette boats, almost like, and you're trying to defeat the purpose, really. They're gonna want more. Obviously, they're gonna produce more. It's a farce. I mean, it's a serious farce. It's not funny, but it's hilarious at the same time. It's all these lives, all these people's lives. The reason why people do drugs is because, first of all, we're all tangled up. We have mysticism, which says you're a wretch, you're nothing, you're lower than dirt, you're ugly, you're disgusting, you're nothing. But I can come in and say, you are my child and I love you. And that mixture is weird. It's like, but I'm nothing. Why would somebody love somebody that's nothing? Oh, because of the grace that God has. Okay, so God's grace brings down upon me, but I'm still not good. So I feel like getting high tonight. Forget that. I don't have to, abide by, Jesus or God or anything. I'm gonna get high and, wreck my life, ruin it, completely be a druggie, be an alkie, whatever the case may be. And that was the first prohibition. We should call it Prohibition 2.0. That's what it should be. The drug war shouldn't be drug war. It should be Prohibition 2.0. That's what it should be. But y'all don't hear me though. Yeah, so Frank Matthews, he sold a lot of cocaine and heroin in his day. A lot of cocaine and heroin. And he's off on a beach somewhere, allegedly. Allegedly. Who knows? Somebody might have copped it, man said, something where he was. And they might have found out exactly where he's hiding. Not sure, though. That, I'm at 0 viewers right now. 0. Boop. But I was up to 13. That's the rush. The rush is 13. Sometimes it goes back up. I'm probably going to have like 49 viewers, if that. But that's okay. This is just the beginning of the week, the work week. I love this day. I love Mondays. I used to watch Mystery Science Theater 3000. It's Misty Mondays. It's great. But yeah, it's something serious. It's a serious situation with the boats getting off. I mean, like I said, they're producing more. Cocaine is cocaine again. It's back to being, potent and very highly addictive. But why? Nobody ever asks why. Nobody wants to know why people do drugs. They just know, oh, they do drugs. We gotta stop this. We have to criminalize it. You're going to jail. DEA bust in. You got 10 keys in your closet. Oh yeah, you're going to jail for 40 years or whatever the case. I don't know what, but that's the totally wrong way of viewing all of this. To go around it. To go around all that. That's the sad part. But like I said, it's mysticism. It's societal as well. It's collectivism. It's second-handedness. Oh well, they're doing it. Let me do it too. Second-handed, not first-handed. I get a high off of this right now, but it'll ruin my life for like years to come, possibly. But I'll get high right now, and Jesus will forgive me and everything. It'll be great later on. And I'll get to be able to go to a rehab center, and then I'll be able to get my degree, and I'll be able to get, a 6-figure income job. I mean, it's almost like they do it on purpose. Like, that's what happens though. If you really look at it, you'll see that people that do drugs, and then they figure out a way, to go to rehabilitation, and completely, revolutionize their lives, and then they come out and they say, I just I gotta change all this. And so they switch it up. They go back to school. They get a degree in, social sciences or whatever the case may be. They become a counselor somewhere, getting $130,000 a year. It's the same. It's like the same story so many times. Or like a pastor, a minister. Like Common even said this, like a minister who used to be a fiend and stuff like that. That's like very well, known, in inner cities and stuff like that. Ministers and pastors and places like that. Back in the 80s, they did all this kind of crack cocaine, and they might have did heroin. They might have did, all these different drugs. They might have did meth, something like that. And then they come out and say, "Oh, Jesus opened up my eyes, and now I see. I can, I once blind, but now I can see, and I don't do those drugs anymore." And everything. It's like such a cliche. You can't write a story about that because it's been done over so many times. I mean, just look at The Wire. The Wire is one of my favorite television series of all time. The Wire. I just said it. It's the #1 TV show ever made. Maybe I have to break it down in different eras, like anthologies and dramas or comedies or something like that. But just to say, as TV as itself, it's the greatest ever. Greatest of all time. But I'll tell you why. It shows the different aspects of the game on different layers, on different levels. From the cops, to the docs, to the politics, to the kids, to the school, to the newspaper writers. They had all 5 seasons. They had a focus on those specific institutions and those individuals within those institutions. Gambino, thank you again for that, though. Seriously, sir. I got to thank you for that because I was having a time. That alleviated a lot of my stress. Thank you so much for that. Merry Christmas to you. Sincerely. I needed that. I needed that kick. I needed that little hit. That was my drug. Money is my drug. Money is my drug. I get high off of money. I have, pharmaceutical drugs that I take, but literally. But, metaphorically, money is my drug. I can't get enough of it. Can't get enough of that funky stuff. No, but money, I just love it. I love earning it. I love creating and then getting rewarded for that. That's like the biggest high in the world because I love making these shows, but then I get paid for it. That's awesome. I get the opportunity to get paid for it. That's really cool. I think that's really cool. So let it be known that, Sky will always take your donations, whatever you have. I would appreciate it. I'll take $5. I'll take anything above $5. Anything less is getting right back at you. But respect my hustle, respect my grind. $5 and up. Gambino did a significant amount of money. I'm not going to say it. I may say it later. I don't know. But for right now, he gave me, a significant, bit of cash. I appreciate it. I don't even think Gambino was in the live chat, or maybe he was. Maybe he was in the viewer section. I'm not sure, but it's possible. But I have to salute to Wiz. Thank you for those stories, sir. I appreciate it. Send me something good again. They were good stories, and like I said, the MGM story, and I still covered it technically. I just didn't want to get into detail. I don't want to, I couldn't get into detail. I didn't know what his beef was with That's beef. That's beef, by the way, folks. It's not a feud. That's a beef. When you're getting shot in a casino, that's beef. But I'd like to thank everybody that came in. Thank you, Wiz, for even though it was a story that wasn't true. I appreciate you for sending it to me. I have to do my due diligence and make sure it's something is real. But I thank you very much, and I will see you all sometime, probably tomorrow. Take care.